You know, at one stage, Martin, people were saying to me, Mane, Salah, Firmino, no one's going to disrupt that three. And if you brought somebody in, who's going to be around about the place who would be in any way a decent replacement should one of those three drop out? Cue Diogo Jota. What a signing.
Yeah, absolutely. And Liverpool don't seem to make mistakes in the transfer market. These players, you know, you just mentioned them, Mane, Salah, Firmino, Fabinho. There's just so many good players that they bring in, and everyone's got a role to fulfill. Ederson, goalkeeper, he puts the pieces in the jigsaw, and he just knows the manager, doesn't he? He's got such a handle on his team and his recruitment and the players. Even Minamino last night, I thought he's improved massively. He lets the youngsters into the team just at the right time, and he seems to be on that sideline like a father figure to each player, following every move. The way that he cajoles the player. He's with them, embracing them after the game.
Yeah.
He's really got his finger on the pulse.
Loving his players.
Yeah, loving his players. As you know, that's a very important aspect of management.
Indeed.
You can't take that, can you?
You can't hate your players, Simon. You have to love them, fella.
I know, sweetheart. I know.
Well, I mean, Henry Winter of the Times did say on Twitter, and I looked at it last night and I got a big response, nobody better than Klopp, really, in terms of man management. He's out there, he's one of them, he's in front of the fans. I mean, no wonder the guy is loved on Merseyside.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can
part.
make that argument. You can also make the argument that Pep Guardiola is equally as good with his players, because look at the performances he gets from his players over a sustained period of time. Jota, was outstanding last night. He turned Ben White inside out and tied his pants over the back of his head. He was outstanding, and for me, breaking that holy trinity of Mane, Firmino, and the other one up top is for me, Salah, was something that was going to be very difficult. And I always felt he looked a little bit like an outsider trying to get in amongst it, but he's a proper player. And if you look at Liverpool and the way that they buy, as Martin alludes to, they buy players because they're able to leverage them out of other football clubs, because Liverpool has this huge lure. They're able to get them out with economics that are still expensive, but they're not toppy. They buy Mane from Southampton for 35 million quid. Bang, goals for fun. They buy Salah for a similar sort of money. Bang, goals for fun. And they buy this boy Jota out of Wolves, 40 million quid, which, when you think about it, for a guy that scores 1 in 2 goals, 1 in 2 games, 40 million quid is, as economic as 40 million quid is, in football terms, is quite economic. And it's all to do with the structure that Klopp enhances.
The specialism of the manager is to, amongst that company, he buys a player when you think he's not really necessary, and yet he becomes a fantastic player. And he feels comfortable in the environment he's in. He doesn't feel intimidated. He's able to express himself.
Yes.
His first touch last night when he scores that goal over the top of the goalkeeper, he chests it, control, just puts it into position, perfect, and then he can't really miss, lifts it over the goalkeeper. This is a player doing top things at speed, making the right calls.
He seems to manage players. You don't seem to hear discontent because they're not getting enough game time. You don't have players that are offside. He's able to pick them off the rank when he wants them, and out they go, and give him everything that they can give him.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to bring this love in with Liverpool to a grinding halt, because I've got to say to you, this is Liverpool's first domestic cup final since 2016, Simon.
Okay.
Is it harsh to say this golden period at Anfield under Klopp could have produced more silverware? 4 trophies in 7 years,
well, of course it could have.
under Klopp.
They were in 3 finals, but they lost, weren't they?
And the 4 trophies, it includes the Super Cup and the Club World Cup. They should have won more.
Well, should have, could have, would have. I mean, ultimately, they've been busy winning Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues during that time, and there's a lot of clubs that would look at that and say,
well, one each.
In the last half a decade, if I've won a Champions League and a Premier League, they'd bite your arm off at the shoulder for it. But there is an argument to say, because we do eulogise and we do wax lyrical about what he is and what he isn't, to suggest that a trophy haul that's slightly bigger might have been more appropriate. But also, upon the eye, Liverpool have been one of the most irresistible teams over the last 5 years.
But Liverpool, before he came back, Liverpool had lost, hadn't they, that glow as a football club. They'd lost a little bit of that reputation when he went there in 2016.
Oh, God, yeah.
But now he's completely restored that, hasn't he? You look at Liverpool now as a European force.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody fears playing against Liverpool. True. It's all back in hand, but they've had to contend with Man City.
Correct.
In that period. They're probably one of the best teams we've ever seen. And Liverpool have matched them blow for blow almost, except for last year.
And this is the pedigree of Man City, and it's not even come in text form from Trevor Sinclair this morning. I'll tell you straight, Guardiola in 6 years at City's won 10 trophies.
Well,
10 trophies in 6 years. Jurgen, 4 trophies in 7 years.
But look at the economics of the difference between the two sides. I'm sorry to make this a conversation about finances.
But is it about that, Simon?
Ultimately, it is, because Pep Guardiola has spent £1 billion. I did this analysis, I did, and all the top 6 managers about their spend per point, their net spend.
Yeah.
And ironically, Klopp was the lowest spend per head, and Guardiola was the second lowest spend per head. But that's only because Guardiola's got so many points to dilute it. But Guardiola has spent significantly more money, but notwithstanding that, he's produced a better side than Liverpool.
And Liverpool have done that in the same era, haven't they?
Were better, but Man City are
They've
now
done that
better.
again. Despite the fact that City have been around, they've still managed to win trophies.
I'm amazed, though. I didn't realise there was such a disparity.
There's 20. He's been there for 6 years, right? So there's 24 trophies he's had a look at.
True.
24 trophies.
True.
He's won 2.
Yeah.
Or 4. Is it 4? 2 or 4?
Guardiola in 6 years at City has won 10. Klopp, 4 trophies in 7. 4 trophies in 7 years.
He's been fifth. So this is his 6th season. This is his 6th season. So
He's rebuilding for a couple of seasons, wasn't he?
So he's been in there for 24 tournaments that he could have won: Premier Leagues, League Cups, FA Cups, Champions League, Europa Leagues, whatever it is.
You're right, Simon, when you break it down.
But essentially, he's gone
I don't
after the Premier League and the Champions League. He hasn't really paid much attention to the League Cup and FA Cup until now.
Well, let's see if they go on and win this one, because it's quite a stat, isn't it? Liverpool fans well aware of this. This is Liverpool's first domestic cup final since 2016. Should you have been in more? I mean, it's a simple question.
And do you care?
And are you going to go on this time and win this one? 03717 223344 81089. In a word, Mr. Martin Keown, Carabao Cup final. Who wins it?
Goodness me, Liverpool.
Liverpool?
Chelsea.
Okay. I knew you were going to say that. I don't know why, but I just knew it. It's 10:30.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.